sometimes things in trucking, they're inevitable, they're unavoidable. You can't control it, and it is what it is. Kind of like hitting a deer in the middle of the night doing 70 miles an hour. Yeah, I have the actual footage, so stick around, it's coming up soon. If you're new to the channel, hey, I appreciate it. I make all kinds of trucking videos. I make vlogs, talk about owner-operator stuff, and even some securement videos occasionally. So if that's something that you're into, please click that subscribe button down below, and don't forget to turn on the notifications so you know when the next video is coming out. One of the things that makes trucking just so dangerous is that we're out here on the road all the time at all hours of the night, and things jump out in our way, and you don't have any kind of control over it. It just is what it is. And unfortunately, when they do hit, they cause a ton of damage. You hope that it's a deer, but sometimes it can be a lot bigger. I mean, an elk, it's gonna total the truck entirely. So, and for an owner-operator, that's detrimental. Not only to your health, because there's no telling what could happen to you after the strike. Hopefully you don't roll over, but if you do, you know, that can cause a lot of medical bills, unfortunately, if you don't lose your life. But if that doesn't happen, well, let's go ahead and I'll show you what happened to my buddy. So yeah, I don't know if you actually saw what happened. I mean, obviously you saw the deer, you saw the two deer, and you know, when the first one ran by, you could see on the video that, yeah, he was doing 70 miles an hour, but you know, I mean, it was nighttime. There was nothing, there was no traffic. You know, it's not on him that he was doing 70, it just is what it is. And when you're doing 70 miles an hour, it takes a long time. I mean, it takes multiple football fields to stop when you're going that fast, especially if you're light. If you're heavy, you actually stop slower. But you know, sometimes there's just nothing that you can do. And I don't know if you noticed, but he lost a headlight. Let's watch it again and watch for that driver's side headlight. So yeah, the deer actually struck right there, and you know, in all actuality, considering everything, he was extremely lucky that this was only the extent of the damage. As you can see in this picture, it completely took out that headlight, and of course there's other damage. There's damage to the grill, there's damage to the hood, to the quarter panel, to his steps, and they're not going to replace everything on the truck. In order to replace everything, it would have been in the 5 figures, but he got an estimate from one of the dealerships, and insurance is gonna have to stroke a check for, I think it was $6,400. And you know, it's not all that big of a deal for, you know, the 6,400 bucks. You know, there's certainly a lot worse things that can happen to us out here, but the $6,400 is certainly not chump change, but it could have been way worse. I mean, it could have been 10 to 15 grand. You know, had it been a half second later, that deer would have been dead center. You're talking about, you could have taken out both headlights. You know, you would need a completely new hood, bumper, you know, radiator, fan, no telling what all it could have caused. I mean, it could have gotten really bad. So all in all, you know, he was very fortunate that this is the only thing that happened to him. So here it is, check it out one more time, and then I'm going to tell you a different story about what happened to a different friend of mine. So when I was at FFE, there was, you know, we ran team, and pretty much the truck moved all night. There was something in the middle of the road, and it was dark, and unfortunately it was black and you couldn't see it. But it was some sort of piece of equipment that had fallen off of we're assuming another truck, because this did happen on an interstate. And they were driving along. The driver saw it last minute, because you couldn't see it, and hit that, rolled over, and the He wasn't injured that badly, but the guy that was his co-driver was sleeping at the time, and yeah, you know, he didn't have his little safety net on. We all know that nobody sleeps with those safety nets on. If you do, congratulations. Most of us don't. And unfortunately, he was thrown into the ELD, which is basically mounted over here to the right of the shifter, roughly where mine's at. Hit it with his back. He broke his back. And he wasn't paralyzed or anything, but he did have some vertebrae, you know, that were fused together. It was a big ordeal. It was very, very nasty. Ultimately, it was labeled as an unavoidable accident. So, you know, there's just, sometimes in trucking, there's just things that just, disaster just awaits. There's nothing that you can do about it. It's what makes this job dangerous. It's what makes this job pay well. If you do it right, it can pay well. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that video. Please, you know, give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Hey, thumbs down if you don't. Share it out if you like. But, you know, just understand that, you know, we're out here doing a pretty dirty job. And if, you know, if you're not in the trucking industry, I urge you to learn a little bit about it, and maybe you can understand why we get so stressed out here, because it is very, very stressful. But thanks for watching. I appreciate it. But as always, stay driven. Huge shout out to Trucker Tools for sponsoring this video. Trucker Tools is the ultimate application. And if you don't have Trucker Tools downloaded on your phone, I urge you to do so right now. Well, wait till the end of the video, then do it. I'll leave a link in the description down below. Just click on it, take care of it like that. But they just came out with an update, and this update is huge. One of my favorite tools is the weigh stations. It will tell you if they're open or closed. Now, it's on to us to go in and use this app to update those weigh stations, but please do so. There are other apps out there that do use this feature, but you know, they're putting a lot of ads on their applications, whereas Trucker Tools is here for the truck driver. They're never going to do that. Their app is always going to be free. There are so many great apps out there. Download it today and check it out. Whether you're a company driver or an owner-operator, they are here for us. And that's why I work together with them, because they understand that truck drivers shouldn't have to pay for some of these services out here. So download Trucker Tools today. They believe in the truck driver. They're there for the truck driver. It's why we work together, because they're great for the truck drivers. So download that app. There's so many different great tools, from, you know, from beginning truck drivers to helping you slide your tandems to advanced owner operators. There's a load board on there. There's all kinds of things that can help you find the cheapest fuel on your route. So many great tools, all wrapped up in one. So download Trucker Tools today.